He wanted me, to give him a blowjob and drink his cum. He wanted me to eat his cum. And like, I straight up just said no. Like I was like,
Yeah.
because I was on his personal team directly. I spent 6 months on his team, and that was when shit got really bad for me. And I was just like, shit is not right. I mean, just like what happened to me alone, the abuse was something that traumatized me. That's why it took me so long, to speak up, because I'm being so vulnerable about it and I'm putting myself out there.
Yeah.
And it's like embarrassment about what happened, and it's fear about being attacked. But then I come to the realization that, I mean, I've done so many videos promoting his cult and ciphering money and energy out of people to come there. Like the very least I could do is like tell what happened to me in a very vulnerable way and shed the light on this darkness.
What happened to you in the cult that you feel people need to know?
So what happened to me was, I'll just get right into it. I got called up to Nithyananda's room, and it was just me and him and one other person, but that person left, and I'm just there with him. I'm on his bed. Started off pressing his feet, pressing his hands, and then gradually worked all the way up to a full body massage, with massage oil and everything. And he's being very lovey-dovey and saying like how much we're integrated and how much we're devoted and how much we are in love with him and how much he's in love with us and soulmate. He used to always say that, like, you are my soulmate, you are my beloved. That's what he was saying. And, like really coming on in like a flirty manner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was on his bed. He worked me up. It happened super gradual, but it led to me masturbating him. It led to me doing that, and it was going on, and he put my hand there pretty much. Like I didn't want to do it. I felt very uncomfortable doing it, and I was even uncomfortable with me being asked or demanded to get on his bed. Like it was like 5 years in, so much of indoctrination, so much of like conditioning done by the guru. And first of all, I saw him as a god, like entirely just an avatar of Shiva, like worshiping him every day. I saw him as a god, and like, the guru vak, the instructions from the guru, you must say yes. If you don't say yes, then you're being punished. Then like you miss out on the blessing, and you disconnect yourself from the guru, which the guru will grant you enlightenment. So if you say no, you're doing yourself and you're doing the guru and the world, humanity, a disservice. Yeah. So saying no to the guru, I always said yes. But we're sleep deprived, malnourished, and I went through the sexual trauma of like having to do all this stuff with him, and I said no. I said no on going to a certain extent. He wanted me, to give him a blowjob and drink his cum. He wanted me to eat his cum, and like I straight up just said no. Like I was like,
yeah.
I mean, he clearly had an erection. Like I felt it. Like,
yeah, me too.
I clearly saw, and I felt it, and that whole talk about he's incapable of any sexual action is just complete bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the story? It goes like he has like lower testosterone than a 6-year-old.
They claim that this bushy bearded man has the testosterone of lower levels of testosterone than a 6-year-old child.
Nithyananda's body is equal to that of a prepubescent boy.
And I believed that. And I remember even after I had felt his erection, because he'd also forced me to give him a hand job on 2 separate occasions. Once during a Mahant meeting in front of about 30 people who didn't know what was happening because it was under his copy. I mean, he was very pushy to get what he wanted.
No one could see. I mean, the stroke wouldn't be that long, so.
No, exactly. I'm glad we can laugh about that now. I remember I was shocked actually the first time I felt his erection, because I mean, this I don't mean to body shame anybody, but I assumed if an avatar took human form as Sadashiva and wanted to be sexually active with devotees, claiming it's to enlighten them, I mean, he had sent me pornographic images in Facebook Messenger, and he had said things about how he's the most perfect, lover, perfect everything. He really built it up. The same way he did to Parvati Shaktika. He has what scientists would call a micropenis. And if anybody ever questions our story, I think that should be on record, that my report to the police about his sexual misconduct and his sexual abuse of me, in that report, I also mentioned your experience, Jordan, because at that time you gave me the go-ahead, even though you didn't come forward publicly. Behind the scenes, people should know you were supporting that we take him down. In my report, I mentioned that it's like maybe less than 1.5 inches fully erect. I'm just really sorry, Jordan, that happened to you, because I know a lot of people who are brainwashed by that fraud.
That fucked me up.
Saw
like, after that experience, I wasn't even able to walk downstairs like straight after 8:10, and I questioned him. I was just like, I don't feel that this is right, like straight after, and he was like, why? And I was just like, I mean, I'm a brahmachari. I took vows of celibacy, and you're a sannyasi, and before that, I knew that he was sexual with others. I mean, I walked into a room with him and my yoga swami, and she's on the bed, and he's like half naked. He just has the covers like over his waist. He's probably fully naked. I don't know. I saw his upper body completely bare chest, and she's on the bed rubbing him down with both hands with oil. And not only that, like you feel the energy, like reeking sex, like you feel the horniness.
Yes.
And they didn't even know I was in the room. They had no clue I was in the room. I brought in a deity. I walked in. It's like every time you walked in, you never just like barged in. You kind of quietly opened the door slowly, and it was only them two. And I got instructions from like Bhaidavaka Swami or someone to go in there, and no one was there. It was only us three in their room, and they didn't even look. They were so infatuated with each other or whatever. And then I put it down, and I just backed up quietly. I saw a good like 1.5 minutes what was going on, and felt the energy. And I'm like, okay, something's going down, and something is about to go down.
Yeah.
And I walked out of there and closed the door behind me. I'm like, okay, like somebody's about to get it in. Like,
yeah. That's weird. And that was before the experience you had where you were.
That was before the experience that happened with me, and just with all of the girls on his team, like holding hands with 16, 17-year-old girls. I'm like, okay, I mean, I wasn't born yesterday.
No.
And then after it happened to me, I'm like, oh, you're definitely having sex with these girls.
Yeah. I am personally disturbed by the police in Bidadi and Ramanagara, because I've submitted a report outlining the sexual abuse that happened to you and me, and they have completely sat on it and ignored it and not made it into an FIR, not investigated. And you're absolutely right. He was sexually active with those girls. By the way, a lot of us call him Poops instead of Nithyananda now, because he doesn't deserve a sacred name. So if I accidentally slip and refer to somebody as Poops, I mean the fraud guru who calls himself Nithyananda. Literally.
Om Namo Nithyanandaya, Namo Namo Nithyanandaya, Om Namo Nithyanandaya, Sadashivaya, Om Nithyananda Sadashiva Mahadeva say, I see you, I'm dumbstruck, my heart blows, my mind in it.